These are the 5 things that you need to focus on if you want to make your day as a great day and an efficient day. So let us just start this by number 1. How do I prioritize my day? This is a really big thing and that matters the most when it comes to when you're feeling like if you are doing a lot of the work but you're still feeling from inside that you are not making any progress. That is the time that you need to shift from creating a to-do list to prioritizing it. So there comes the prioritization. Your design of the day starts by prioritization, and how do you prioritize them matters the most. At first I just didn't pay much attention to the prioritization. I just picked up random things from the to-do list and started it out to do that one thing. But no, random choices, random priorities, random work is going to give you the random results. So in order to get out of that one thing, you need to prioritize what you need to do and figure out that what is going to give the much more efficient work. So here's the thing. If you think that if you are going to check off everything from the to-do list and most of the things from the to-do list, then your day will be a great day, then it might be sometimes, but it might be not, because it does not depends on how much task do you do. It depends on what do you feel after doing all of those things, and most probably it does depends on your prioritization. So that's a huge misconception that the amount of the work or the number of the actions that you're taking or the number of the things that you're going to check off from the to-do list is the most efficient way or is going to make your day as a great day. Then it's not a great one, because here's the thing. Your efficient work depends on the 2 things. So the first one thing is that it's the quality of the actions that you're taking. The second thing that depends is that what chunk of the task you are picking to do, and that is going to decide how much you are going to be efficient throughout the day or how much you are going to be get done through all of those things. So for example, so if you are picking up the 10 smaller things on your to-do list and you are having going to do all of those 10 smaller things, but later on throughout the day, even after doing that 10 smaller things, you are feeling like I didn't made any real progress. That real progress doesn't comes from that smaller things that you did, that just made you feel like you were doing something, you were busy on something, you were productive something, but it actually didn't made any huge difference that you were thinking. So it doesn't made a huge difference. On the other side of it, if you are picking up the chunk of the 3 tasks, that is the huge 3 tasks of the throughout the day, so even if those tasks are going to take up the long hours to complete it, maybe it could be 2 hours, 3 hours, or sometimes it could be the work that you're going through, each and every day you have to do it in order to complete it, chunk by chunk or bits by bit, so that one day it will get completed. So that is the work that needs to be get done, and that is the huge things that make up the huge difference. And if you pick those 3 big things over the 10 smaller things, that is what prioritization makes up the clear difference. If you are going behind checking off the list, then you might probably end up checking more of it but not being really making up the progress towards the goal. So that actually matters. And the second thing that comes after that is that your quality also matters. So the quality of the work that you are trying to do. So for example, if I'm sitting for long hours but I'm not doing something very much productive, or if I'm just trying to be okay, I'm just doing something but I'm not really pushing myself hard into this one thing, then what is the meaning of doing it? You might feel like you have given so much long hours to it, but actually you didn't made much of the work. So the focus also matters. The quality of doing that one thing also matters. If you're going to concentrate and focus and do that one thing at your full potential, like in 2 to 3 hours, you will feel like you have done something, you can do it, and you will feel like better. But if you have like sitting on it and just trying to do it, but you're not doing it actually, and you are just trying to figure it out, but it's a vague distraction that you are just behind on it. It's a kind of the not 100% focused work, right? So it's not a deep work that you needed to do, and that does not satisfy you. So the satisfaction doesn't comes from the doing of the list or checking of the list. It's a yes, it could be a part of it. Yes, it is there that you will be happy by checking off that you have done these things. But yes, the huge tasks, when you accomplish them, there will be a lot much more satisfaction that you have done these things at least, and you are just like, okay, I can do it again, and you will be much more happy and satisfied by doing these 3 things rather than by running behind those 10 things, right? That is the way how you can decide, and this needs to be done in the beginning of the day. So for example, when you're deciding your day, that okay, what are the things that I need to do, set up these 3 things that you're having right now. When you decide something that in the beginning of the day, you will have like more energy, you will be able to more focus on it, and you will get the things much more faster done, and it will be like feeling great. So when you start your day at the beginning of it, when you assign yourself those 3 big tasks, you will be able to complete it most of the time, and at the end of the day you will be like, I have done those 3 things, and I have done almost like every even sometimes the half of the day. You will feel like you have done 60 to 70% of your work, and that is a great sign, that is a great one. And now if you just want, you can just go ahead into doing those smaller things. So now you are already 70% done with all of those big things, and now you are doing up the small things. So there are a huge difference that is going to be in front of you. Instead, like if you are going to start your day with the smaller task, so your mind will be like, okay, let me just start by the smaller task, what's the problem? I will start by the smaller task, then I will go to the big task, and then I will just complete all of those things. What's the problem? There is a huge difference when you start it with the big things and with the small things. When you start it with the small things, I have noticed myself that you will feel trapped inside of the mentality of small sized maximum check off from the to-do list, and that you will try to do. So you will start to pick up the small sized work, and you will start to pick up the things that are a lot much more easier than the things that are harder. So you will try to, your mind will get trained into figuring out what is easier and pick that one thing and get that like small sized one. This is going to be get completed easier, and it takes very less time, and you will just have the satisfaction of checking it off from the to-do list, and you will be like, okay, this is a great one. But later on, when you go into the big task, you will feel that I cannot do this, because now your attention span has reduced and shrunken to like a very small period of the time to do that one thing. The focus is already shrunken to that one mentality that I need to do this for like half an hour or 1 hour, or maybe like 15 minutes or 30 minutes, whatever it is. Like it has been like reduced, and when it is reduced, now it becomes much more harder to do that big things, and you will ultimately fail to do those 3 big things that you decided earlier on. That is why it is really important to start with those 3 big things and then later on shift on to the smaller things. So that is the way how I think priorities must be done. So the second thing that comes here after is that what is the thing that I keep inside? What is the thing that I keep inside? Most of the time when you are keeping yourself in the loop of doing the things when you are most busy in getting the things done, you start hiding some truth from yourself. And you are like, okay, I'm not hiding anything from myself. Okay, it's fine, you're not hiding, but at times there might be some time that you will find yourself like a mechanistic one, and you will figure out that I'm not having any spirit in this, I'm not having my soul in this work. Why is it happening? Why is there's a loss of the aliveness, loss of the creativity? Why is it happening? What is, like, why am I not able to put up that in that way that I used to do it? So what is the real thing that is behind it is that there is really some truth that you are hiding about yourself, which is like hidden inside of the layers, and you are just like, I don't know what is it. So how you're going to figure it out, that what truth that you are avoiding or you are not able to feel it or know it, what is it? So one thing that comes over when this happens is that if you are too much doing in the work but you are feeling in that way, then what is happening is that your mind will run continuously. Your mind will not stop. Your mind will be bogged down by thinking continuously. It will be like processing continuously. It will be like, I want to evaluate everything. I want to do it. I want to, like, what is the next thing? What is the next thing that I want to do? It will be always in the chase of the next thing, and it will be not able to, like, figure out the exact way. Why is it going on that, like that? Why am I feeling like I'm a machine? Why am I doing it in that way? So it will be like always in the chase of that next one thing, and it will be like, tell me the next thing that I need to do, and I will just get it done. And somewhere you will be like, I'm feeling like worried or feeling like bad, but like for some of the personal reasons, but it is not sure like what is it exactly and how am I'm not sure what is it. And you will just be like, I'm just feeling that way, I'm just doing the task, I'm just completing it off, and I'm just doing it, right? So that is the way how your mind becomes when something is hidden, when something is there inside of you, and that needs to be revealed. So your mind will not want you to interact with that one thing directly, because it does not want you. So it will just try to avoid its side, and it will just try to focus on the next thing that is there. So it does not want to face the truth, it just wants to skip that and go into the next task. It just wants to do the things that it is trained for. And this is the real thing that happens, that when your mind is trying too hard to focus, this is the real important one. So when your mind is trying too hard to focus on anything, then this is the real sign that you are hiding something from yourself. It's like something is off and you are not facing the truth. That is why your mind is not becoming relaxed. The mind is not relaxed, that is why you are not able to focus. And when you are trying too much hard to focus here, then there is something that needs to be revealed. So how do you get that out? That's the very simple thing. You just need to write it down, 2 to 3 pages every time when you just feel in that way. Then you just need to take up the 2 to 3 pages and you just need to write down each and every single line that is coming inside of your mind into the paper without judging yourself. And you don't need to know instantly on the spot that what does this line means, what does it meant to me, what is the meaning of this one thing, what am I. You just don't need to analyze it all instantly. You just need to write it down, put it down on the paper, and you just need to figure out that, okay, let me just write it down, let me just clear it all, let me just release all the things that are there, and that will reveal the things that are hidden, and that will give you the truth that you need to face. And once you have got all those things in your paper, you will be relaxed. And once you are feeling like you are relaxed, your mind is getting calm and relaxed, that's the time you need to, like, okay, let us just stop it. So that will take up the time. Two to three pages you need to write it down, but still, like, you just need to do it. Now this might feel like sometimes that what does it have to do with a great day? But yes, if you are not focused on today, then what is going to be the next day? So every day is very important, and every day becomes of the great when you try to improve yourself, when you try to check on yourself and analyze yourself and do everything that can improve you to make yourself better. So the third thing that comes to my mind after this is that if sometimes you are not able to do one thing that you have got to do. Now, this is something that I get stuck most often, and it's like when I get stuck in that one thing and I'm not able to do it, sometimes what I will think is that okay, maybe I need to prepare something more of it, or maybe I need to get some really good ideas to work on it, or maybe I need to prepare and make myself ready for it, maybe I need to do the practice, or maybe I need to, like, do something about it, like something external thing is needed, maybe I'm missing that one piece that is out there that is required. And this is the thing that most of us think, right? So when you're not able to do that one task, you will be like, maybe I'm not ready for it, maybe I'm not prepared for it, maybe I just don't have that much of the capacity. So, or any kind of the reasons that you give to yourself, that you need something from the external in order to get that one thing done. So this is really something that needs your attention. So the one thing that you need to do is not making, maybe like you have already prepared for it, or maybe you are fearing of doing that one thing. It's okay, it's normal. Like, you might not be feeling that much confident about it, or you might not be getting that much ideas, or you are not able to write it down, or you're not able to do it, you're not able to take the actions, whatever it might be. You might be thinking that it is something external that I need. But no, it's not the external things that you need, it's internal that you need. So, here's the thing, you are not able to do that one thing because you are not staying in the present with your mind and body. So, in staying the present. So, when you stay in present with your mind and body at the same place, you get most of the things done without any kind of the distractions. So, when you are thinking that you need something from outside, that is not required, and you are way more distracted in mind than you think. You are not really taking anything inside for yourself. You are just trying to do it for, like, maybe you just need to do it for your desires, the outcomes that you need. You are attaching it with something that is outside and not for your internal improvement. That is the real big change that comes when you focus not from the outside perspective, but from, like, inner way of developing your own things. So when you think in that way, that maybe I have got everything that I need to figure out for this one thing to get completed, but maybe you have got way much more distracted than you might even think or notice. So sometimes what happens is that you might have got your attention span to, like, very much, like, shrunken to the speed. Maybe you just want to get it done faster, or maybe you just want to get it done quicker, or your attention span might have shrunken to the level that too much superficiality is there. And when I just say that too much superficiality, you are just not digging much more in the deeper layers that are required. So you are just, like, on the surface levels. You have lost the connection with your core self. And this happens mostly when you are trying to switch from one task to another task, or when you're trying to do the multitasking, when you're trying to do something while you are doing one thing and you're doing focusing on another thing, and like you are distributing your energy throughout the different things that are not even required. And sometimes even like you are not able to focus just because of the some notifications that are coming on your mobile phones, or like everything that is distracting you is going to cut your attention span and make you feel like you are superficial on that one thing, and you just need something to take input, and then you will get that one thing done. So that is the real thing that happens. And the only way to get back to your core self is by connecting yourself mindfully through mindfulness and cutting off all the distractions. So, this is like you might say that how am I going to be mindful and how am I going to cut off all the distractions? How am I going to stay present in this moment? So, for doing that, it's really very simple practice that is there. So, you just need to take a deep breath. So, you just can do it right now. Pause the video and take 4 to 5 deep breaths and allow yourself to feel that and to come back to the present moment where you are, and take up the few seconds to be here, to relax yourself, to focus on that breathing pattern. And when you take up the few deep breaths, you will become much more mindful. You will get the clarity to get all those things done that you were trying to do. So the clarity does not comes from the more inputs or the more information that you will get, but it will come from the mindfulness that you will achieve by the practicing of the deep breath, and that will get you like the most of the answers much more clearly. It will give you the specific things that are needed to get that one thing done, and from inside also you will be like, okay, I can do that one thing. Immediately the shift will be not in the external, but it will be in the internal. So that is really important and that is really needed. The mindfulness is the major change that needs to be done, and that will give you the focus and the clarity that was lacking there, right? And what it does is basically, if you are being mindful, then you will not be like too much in the rush or distracted. It will automatically focus you down into yourself and making you into a calm and much more relaxed person, and you are much more slowed down. So slowing down makes you actually faster in doing the things or getting the things done. So after getting that mindfulness, that gives you the stability in your mind, and that stability is going to give you that, okay, let me just focus on this one thing now. When you are much stable, you will feel that now you can do that without distracting yourself, without running behind each and everything, and without stretching your mind. So that is it. It's very pretty simple thing, but we just lose that one reminder that we need to relax and become mindful for that. So we just start losing our mind on all of those things, and we just start distracting and start looping on the distracting patterns. And so I just need you to remind yourself that every hour or every 2 hour, just remind yourself to take a deep breath and like become mindful for whatever the thing that you're doing, and then you will see that there is a huge difference when you were doing it earlier and now you are doing it. So the things will also get completed much more better way and much more focused way. The fourth thing that comes after this is that sometimes we are avoiding some of the tasks. So I want you to be very much conscious about like what are the actions that I'm not doing. When I just say that, why, what are the actions that I am not doing, I'm like, okay, I'm not doing it, so why just I don't care about it, that's why I'm not doing it. If it is related to your goal, and if you are not doing it, that's the thing that you need to think about. That's the thing that you need to figure out why you're not doing it. So I want you to ask yourself a question, that why am I not doing this one thing? This is the question that I ask myself, that if you know the answer to why am I not doing this one thing, then everything is sorted. Because once you know that why you are not doing it, you will know the point that what you are avoiding, what you are becoming uncomfortable with, what you are fearing with doing that one thing. And that is the real thing that we are fearing most of the time. So if you are having the goal and you are thinking that these 10 actions, these 10 of the actions are going to get me to that point, then if you are taking up the six actions and then the seventh one you are getting stuck on that one thing, and you're just trying to avoid it, and you're just trying to figure it out, like, let me just do something else, or let me just do something else, then you are not doing that one only particular thing. Then why you are not doing that one particular thing? What is it that is scaring you? What is that one thing that is making you fearful about it? What are you avoiding by ignoring that one task? And that is really important. When you are making your day and you're improving throughout the day, then you cannot avoid the tasks that are needed to be done. And the real benefit of identifying that why am I not doing this is this, that when you identify that why am I not doing this, you know that one thing, and now you accept that one thing. Okay, I'm fearing this one thing, or I'm avoiding this one thing, I'm uncomfortable with this. And when you accept it, you are now like, I just know that I'm avoiding it, and now you are making a conscious decision to shift that and make yourself like, okay, I'm going to work on this, maybe I can just try it out, and let me just see what can I do. And when you decide it consciously, you will make the actions much more faster, rather than just ignoring them unconsciously. So when you keep avoiding, or when you keep ignoring them unconsciously, you are just stacking it, and you are just waiting for the pain point that will come, that will force you to change yourself, and then you will just push yourself, and then you will go there. So before getting that pain point in your life for taking that action, why don't you just figure out that what do I need to do it, and why am I not doing it, and how can I get that one thing done? So that is the real thing that is required there. So when you just keep a conscious eye on what am I not doing, you are like figuring out why am I not doing this, and how can I get this one thing done. The next fifth thing that comes to my mind is that don't make the responsibility is equal to fear of failure. So when you take up the too much of the heavy responsibilities on your shoulders, you might sometimes feel like, if you are like, you just see yourself like, okay, this is the me who is doing all of the things, and if I'm going to fail on this one thing, everything is going to get collapse, everything is going to like, oh my god, this is a huge one thing. If you are going to take everything on your shoulders and on your responsibilities, I'm not saying that you must not take your accountability, you must take that, okay, how can I improve, how can I like accept my failures. Acceptance is different, accountability is different, but too much of the responsibility, and like, if you are, it's like getting into the control of doing it, and once you have taken too much of the burden to do that one thing, and taken too much of the responsibility, that if this thing doesn't happen, then it will be failed, it will be like, where I will go and what will happen, how am I going to do this? And if you see in this way, it's a huge kind of the blunder that is going to be inside of your mind, because now you're focusing too much on the outcome, because you will be scared right now because of the failure that might come in the future, that might not even come, but you are just scaring yourself out too much because of the fear of failing. So you don't have to take up the heavy burdens on your shoulders or just boulders on your chest and move ahead, and like you just don't have to take everything on you and try to do that, because if you are going to do that in that way, then you are not going to make any progress. You are not going to be soulful, you are not going to be creative, you are not going to do it in your full potential. You will be scared, you will do it in the scared manner, and you will be fearful about it. So instead of doing in that way, I just want you to not take or see yourself as a doer. So if you just see yourself as a doer, so if I just see myself as I'm doing each and everything, then I might feel the burden. But if I'm not seeing myself as a doer, and if I just see that everything is the energy that the universe is giving me, then it's not my thing, it's not me who is actually doing it. So my part is only the my part, and that is what I'm doing it. So it just makes me feel relaxed, and that is what is required. So you just don't have to keep yourself burdening with the thought that I'm the doer, and if everything fails, then you will just like everything will collapse. Nothing is going to happen like that. I want you to surrender to the universe and let yourself say that, okay, let me just do my work, and the universe will take care what it needs to be. So you just don't have to take care of each and every detail, each and everything that is there. So that will get the things done much more fluently and in the flowing manner. So, these are the 5 things that are affecting you throughout the day if you are getting stuck on any of these. And if you find this video as helpful, please like, share, and subscribe, and comment below what is the thing that you're struggling with right now. And I hope that I helped with this. So, see ya and bye.